Virtual Boys have been playing Nintendo since they were little. These 60 plus combined years of experience have made them experts in the field. Or at least they sure think so. Join them this week as they talk about something from the wonderful world of Nintendo. You're listening to the Virtual Boys Podcast, a Nintendo podcast about Nintendo things by Nintensity. This podcast is done by four friends that talk about anything and everything Nintendo. Check out the website at nintensity.com and be sure to follow us on social media. Be sure to subscribe and share the show with your friends. Oh, of course, enjoy the show. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Virtual Boys Podcast, a Nintendo podcast about Nintendo things. This is episode number 102, and I'm your host, David. I got one single prediction right. I'm accompanied with Skylar.
Star Fox was shown, just not exactly the way we wanted.
And James.
I can't wait to jump off the battle bus and join you on the battlefield in Fortnite.
All those battle royale games, you know, you gotta be the best. Wreck all 100 extra people. Just win.
Is Fortnite like the new Skyrim where it's going to be on everything? Like,
it already is on everything, man.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's I'm pretty sure it is. I downloaded it and then they wanted me to make a second account. I'm like, nah, and then I immediately deleted it.
They want you to make a second account? Why?
Yeah, they want me. Well, the Fortnite people want me to sign up with their service too, and I was just like, effort. I have too many other games to play right now anyway. Immediately deleted it.
Yeah. Well, my little brother's having a fun time playing some Fortnite, but again, he's 14, good. So, you know, it's all those middle schoolers that are loving Fortnite more than anyone, so.
Yeah. My brother Evan's just been playing it nonstop on his phone, so.
Well, on the phone. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. Well,
what a time we live in, ladies and gentlemen.
What a time. So many things can be done in the palm of your hand. Anyway, E3 happened. You know, that's kind of fun. And we've had some time to think about the various announcements and things that, you know, happened during E3. Last episode, we made a bunch of predictions, so now it's time to see who is closest to the Nintendo profit. But first, just want to remind you to check out our Patreon page. These episodes go up early as a reward for those that support us. And you can check that out at patreon.com/Nintensity. And also, come talk about your favorite parts about E3 with us at our Discord community at nintendo.city/Discord. Also, I said at in the wrong place, and I apologize for that. Should have said on. Anyway, let's wrap up E3. So again, we've got a whole bunch of predictions, and we've been playing this game where we each get to say a prediction. Each prediction is worth 3 points, but becomes worth one fewer points based on how similar the other Virtual Boys predictions are to that one prediction. In our game, we had none that were like that, so we're all good. If the prediction comes true, it's worth 3, like I said. But if it doesn't come true, it's worth -1 point. So that's kind of a big penalty for going out on a limb and trying to be a little bit more adventurous without, you know, being right. So, let's talk about some of the ones that we wanted to predict, or that we predicted that, you know, came true or didn't come true. All right, well, now let's go over some of those predictions that we were talking about. We'll first go through Jordan's predictions and see what he got right and what he got wrong. His first prediction was Fallout 3 ports for the Switch, which unfortunately he got wrong. Kind of sad that we didn't get to see Fallout 3. You know, we talked about that being a pretty good game for Bethesda to bring over to the Switch to get interest for Fallout.
I mean, honestly, I thought that would be like a no-brainer. It's like, oh, bring 3 over, but I don't know.
Yeah, kind of sad.
It feels old by this point. I just played through it on the Xbox 360. I kind of want to remaster personally if they're bringing it over, just because there's lots of glitches and it just feels like Oblivion old, like really old.
Yeah. I haven't played it, but I think it'd be fun to play. But yeah, you're right. It is an older game, so they should make a remaster before bringing it just as a port to the Switch.
Yeah, I might even say it needed more of a remaster than probably Skyrim did, just from all of the glitches. But I think it's older. Is it older than Skyrim?
I think so.
I think it is.
I could be wrong.
So it definitely needs a remaster before they bring it to any console, in my opinion. But
Yeah, the Fallout 3 came out in 2008, and Skyrim came out in 2011.
Yeah, so 3 years before.
Yeah, that's
No
a pretty
wonder
big
it feels
gap.
like Oblivion.
Yeah. Well, the next prediction Jordan had was Doom 2 for the Switch. That it would come out on the Switch, but would be a bit after the main release. Now we got, you know, a little bit of a trailer for it, but we didn't get
trailer,
teaser. We didn't get any real information about it. No release date, nor even a list of the consoles for it. So we're gonna mark this one as wrong because, you know, this is an E3 predictions, and if it didn't happen at E3, it wasn't a correct prediction. So, but I do think Doom 2 should come to the Switch. I mean, Doom 1 came.
That was one that I thought, if you remember from our last episode, I was like, well, at least I didn't guess Doom 2. But at the same time, I thought it was a possibility. It's very gutsy move on Jordan's part. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't be objecting to giving some points there, but I guess since we don't know what systems it's on.
His next prediction was an Ubisoft exclusive for the Switch. He was hoping for Red Steel 3, but unfortunately we did not get an exclusive for Switch from Ubisoft, much less Red Steel 3. So, oh well. The next one Jordan actually got right was EA got booed during their conference, loud enough that it's audible on the coverage. This happened during the Battlefield 5 segment of their press conference. Once they announced and said something like, and here's something that you've all been asking for, Royale mode. It was like half applause and half boo. It was great. Like, we don't need a Royale mode in every single game, but
I think Jordan was expecting a boost during like, we got loot box coming or something, like one of those announcements. But and it counts. It's still booing during the conference, so give it to him. You know?
Yeah. So, I mean, EA's conference was, man, I didn't watch any of it. I just wanted to double check on the booing part to see if any of that happened. So, his next prediction was Star Fox Grand Prix is real. It was not announced at E3. We don't have a deconfirmation of it either, so it's still up in the air. But since there was no announcement at E3 nor confirmation, this one does not count either, or as well, I guess. The next one was an HD Zelda remake, and that did not happen either, even though I really wish that it did. And then his final one was a Metroid Prime Trilogy HD announcement, which that did not happen at all. So, unfortunately. So that brings Jordan's total to -2 points with how many he got wrong and how many got right. I mean, I'm starting to think that, you know, getting these predictions wrong is a huge penalty if we end up with negative points in the end. So, whew, oh boy. Oh, I gave him -2. It should be -3 since there were 7 total and he only got 1 right. But our bonus round, which was which character would make it into Smash, Jordan actually got that right. And so I think that's a free +1 point with no penalty for getting it wrong. He said that Ridley would join, and so he did. So Jordan gets a point for that. So that's a -2.
Bada boom.
Yep. All right. James, do you want to go through your predictions and what you got right and wrong?
Sure. So my first one was Xenoblade Export, and obviously that didn't happen. But I'm totally okay with that because Xenoblade 2's story expansion is phenomenal looking. Like they've changed gameplay and all sorts of things, and we'll talk about that later. But I just feel very satisfied with what they're bringing. So not having Xenoblade X yet is a-okay. It's like almost having every year having Xenoblade. That would be amazing. But
Yeah.
maybe that's a dream that would never happen.
I mean,
anyway.
I'd still like Xenoblade X to come to the Switch simply because I never got the chance to play it. I mean, I watched you guys play a little bit of it when we were living together, but yeah, it'd be a good option on the Switch for me and quite a few other Xenoblade fans that just didn't play it on the Wii U. So still a good prediction, but we got a whole game in Xenoblade Chronicles 2 story expansion. But again, we'll talk about that later.
And then my next one was Animal Crossing Switch with Pocket Camp integration. Well, there was no Pocket Camp integration because there was no Animal Crossing Switch. So I think it's inevitable that will happen. It's one of their biggest franchises. Maybe I was just a little too anxious and thinking it would come this year because obviously it's not ready. And like Reggie says, they're only going to show a game until they won't show a game until it's a few months away from release. Metroid Prime 4.
Yeah.
But yeah. So maybe next year.
I sure hope so. I mean, Reggie even had a bit of an interview where he talked about Animal Crossing Switch a little bit afterwards. And he mentioned that the mobile market is huge for Animal Crossing Switch. So I do agree with you. Like, Reggie's kind of hinting, I think, that they're going to have some heavy Pocket Camp integration in the next Animal Crossing. So it'll work. All right, what's next?
So no Bayonetta 3 trailer. I got that right.
Ding, ding, ding.
We have a winner.
Bing.
I guess like you trick for going into this game, guess things that will not appear, and you'll do a great job. At least this year, because because Platinum takes a while with their games, so that's why I thought that we wouldn't see anything until like next year or something like that.
Yeah.
That goes into my next topic where I said Fire Emblem would finally be revealed, but I got too cocky and went all like, I added an extra thing and said there would be pirates. But obviously it's not pirate theme unless they're hiding something that we can't see. All the nobles become pirates and it's really a facade, but
I still think that mermaid part, where mermaids are finally a unit, that'd just be excellent.
Crawling on the ground.
It's actually, they're all just dragons, but they're sea dragons this time.
Oh
gosh.
It's exactly
That's
what
like-
every Fire Emblem fan wants at this point.
More dragons.
More dragons. Main character's a dragon. You got 3 houses again. It's great.
It's great. It's perfect.
This is
Never change.
This is not what I wanted.
Please, Fire Emblem.
Fire Emblem, I believed.
Yeah.
I believe. So I got that rightish. I think I got like a half point for that one.
1.5 points. Yeah, I gave you half
1.5 points. Because technically, I did get it right. It's just I went a little too much into detail. And then the next one I got right as well, because Star Fox Grand Prix. I said Star Fox Grand Prix is not real, meaning because Jordan says Star Fox Grand Prix is real. I was meaning it wasn't going to be at E3 is what I meant to say, or it was what I was meaning. So yeah, obviously it wasn't there.
Sad
so
face.
there you go. I know, sad face. It makes you wonder, like, what the heck is Retro working on?
Nothing. They're fired all their employees.
We got to work from scratch on this one.
Yep.
Let's go back to Pong and work our way up from there.
Let's go back to military Pong, and then we'll go up from there.
That's right.
Code it all in
Space
Code it all in
Pong.
Fortran, so it's all just math based.
Oh gosh.
Oh, gross.
Well, we'll just have to keep wondering what they're working on. It'll be it's good topics for videos in the future, right?
Yes.
And then going back to all my wrong predictions now, we got WarioWare Smooth Moves being a sequel for Switch. Or there's a sequel for it. That did not happen. We didn't even see the gold edition for the 3DS on it, which I kind of thought we would see at the Treehouse.
Seriously.
Actually, I really thought we were going to see like game reveals at the Treehouse, but
Yeah.
nothing.
didn't.
Like last year with Metroid. Yeah. Ugh.
I mean, that was a big and I guess you can't blame the show itself. It's just they don't have anything to show right now is the issue. But anyway, then my last thing was a teaser trailer for Prime 4 with a target launch date, no gameplay. There was no gameplay. I got that right. No, wait, James, you got everything else wrong. The funny thing about this is in a video I did beginning of the year, I said that there would be no Bayonetta 3 and no Prime 4 footage or trailer or anything. But then come predictions time, I got cocky, I got excited, and my gut said we would see it. But
You duped yourself.
I duped myself. So there you go.
Yeah. But that's okay.
And my bonus round was ARMS, and obviously that's terribly wrong, especially since the fact that the plan for Smash, which we kind of knew, I mean, Jordan kind of like drilled this into our minds, but the final plans for Smash Ultimate were made like at the end of 2015, so there was no way that the ARMS characters were going to get in really, unless they were last minute. I mean, I'm not sure if that's.
I'm okay with him not being there.
No, I mean, me too. Like, I think you got to have a little bit of a resume before getting in.
And I mean, ARMS isn't the most popular thing either. It's not nearly as big as Splatoon. So
right.
Yeah.
So
that's fine.
Yeah. All right, and then my final score for that one was plus 3.5 points.
Puts you square in the lead by a lot. So good work.
There you go.
Skylar, why don't you give us your prediction that you had us put in for you?
The only one I said was Mario Odyssey DLC, and I was wrong, so I lose. Because it was my only one.
Yeah,
I didn't get anything right.
Well, that's the wrong way of looking at it. Well, I don't know how else you look at it.
Yeah. Well, darn.
I just it would have been nice. Maybe to get even Luigi playable, as DLC.
Oh, that
would have been excellent. But I guess they're kind of done with Mario Odyssey, at least as far as we can tell. They're probably working on its sequel.
I mean, they still have like small things. Yeah, but maybe they're working on a sequel. I mean, we'll see.
Yeah. So, well, for my predictions, my first one I got right, which was Xenoblade Chronicles 2's story expansion would be given a trailer and a release date. It got both of those during the course of E3. The release date wasn't in the initial trailer, but they talked about it, I think, the next day at Treehouse. So that's pretty sweet. And we'll talk about that again in a minute once we're done with this review of our game. The next one I got wrong, and it was a Pikmin 4 announcement. And man, you're breaking my heart, Nintendo. Like, where is this? Where is it? I need more Pikmin. Like,
well, and I thought I kind of thought it'd be there too, but I was just worried of making a guess on it. But honestly, looking back, I think Pikmin 4 had more of a reason to be announced than Animal Crossing did.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because Miyamoto was there and everything.
We haven't had anything Pikmin in a long time. The next one I got wrong was Mario Maker 2. Like, this is another no-brainer for Nintendo. It's like, this will just make money and sell a ton because people love making Mario levels and you could add so much and the Switch is perfect for it. But
I agree. I just think it's too early for it.
Yeah, it probably is too early. I mean, Mario Maker 1 launched really late in the Wii U's life, so oh well. The next one I had was Fire Emblem Path of Radiance Echoes would be released, or revealed, I guess. And that was due to a delay of Fire Emblem Switch. That didn't happen, but the delay did happen for Fire Emblem Three Houses. So I guess I got that part right. But I mean, the majority of my whole point was, the Echoes version of Path of Radiance. And no, that did not happen. So I got that one wrong.
Would have been nice.
So, yeah, my next one was some Square Enix port, Kingdom Hearts Collection or Final Fantasy. That didn't happen, even though I'd love to see them on Switch. But at the same time, it doesn't matter too much to me anymore because I have a PlayStation and I bought Kingdom Hearts. So, oh well. The other one I got wrong.
Square Enix's E3 in general was very lackluster, so,
Except they had 3 whole trailers for Kingdom Hearts 3, so...
It's fans free. I mean, it's great for Kingdom Hearts fans.
Yeah, for Kingdom Hearts, but everything else,
and it was shown at different events, not Square Enix event.
Right. No, you're right.
Yeah, everybody's like, why did Square Enix even have an event? Everything that was shown there was shown elsewhere, so it's almost like, what would the point? But,
At least Octopath Traveler looks amazing.
It does. It does look really good.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah. My next one was in conjunction with Jordan's, which was an HD Zelda remake. That did not happen, so I got that one wrong. And my final one was also in conjunction with Jordan's, which was the Metroid Prime Trilogy HD announcement, and we did not get that either. And my bonus round character, I chose Excitebike. I don't know, I couldn't think of anybody, so did not get that bonus point. That takes me to -3 points, which is exciting. I guess I got one right.
Excite biking.
Yep, excite biking. So if we go over the scores themselves, I am in last place with -3 points. Jordan follows with -2. Skylar after that is -1, and James is at +3.5. But I think for our total running score as we go, Skylar, I think I'm going to subtract or whatever the average of our 3 scores, since you only had 1. So we'll figure that out just to kind of make it seem a little more fair. Yeah, you still lost.
Definitely lost.
I'm going to straight up give you a -7 right now. No, just kidding. I'm not going to do
Pretty
that.
much.
So, those were our E3 predictions, what we got right, what we got wrong. So now let's talk about some of the things in general that we liked about E3. Some of the highlights and stuff that, we actually cared about at E3 and not just be bummed that we got it wrong. The first and most obvious one of all is Smash Brothers Ultimate. We're not going to spend a whole lot of time on this one because we are going to dedicate an entire episode to the reveal. I think next week is the plan. But it looks excellent. I'm super excited that everybody is here. It's going to be great. You guys have a couple of thoughts about that?
Snack.
He's back, baby.
Great. Bombs everywhere. Here we go. Probably the worst player to fight in Brawl.
Yep.
Snack.
Really though, because you have to always be thinking
You always have to be on your feet.
Yeah, to be aware of where all the bombs went.
Where did he plant this?
All the missiles are, yeah.
You're telling me he can have 5 bombs at the field at a time?
Oh gosh.
I love this game.
Doomed.
It's going to be good.
So I actually got to go to E3. So I'll just briefly say that it does play very well. It is quicker.
Beautiful.
And you can definitely feel the pushback, the whatever you call it, the blowback is a lot more prevalent. Blowback happens more often. But a lot of the quality of life changes and UI changes are just fantastic. You honestly, I look back at Smash 4, I'm like, this kind of feels unpolished compared to what I played and
that is so weird.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It's very weird.
We love Smash 4 so much, and played it all the time. But
maybe partly it has to do with the new art style change.
Yeah, maybe.
But even then, I still think it's the UI and a lot of the mechanic fixes go into that as well. So
it's incredible.
Yeah, it really is.
And everyone is here. Everyone. They got everybody back. And Ridley.
That was surprising.
Everyone's here.
Very surprising.
Everyone's here.
That was great.
Including Daisy.
Yep.
That's crazy.
She made it. Now Waluigi. Poor Wamaster. Oh, well.
He left him out.
We left him out. He didn't get his invitation in the mail.
I guess she's, better to...
You guys...
Huh?
Sorry, what were we going to say?
Better to be original than forever a clone. So, we're all good.
Well, you guys should see the video I made with Daisy versus Waluigi.
I watched the hate train. That was pretty funny. And then half the people are still like, but Waluigi's bae. I was like, you're not. I mean, he's great. I like Waluigi.
But it's pretty hilarious. Just wow. Anyway.
Yeah. So another highlight is Fire Emblem Three Houses. I know the game doesn't look super polished yet. I mean, I'm sure that's why it was delayed until spring 2019. But
I hope so.
Yeah, I'm really excited for it. It looks like a fun Fire Emblem game with some really fun elements. I think that the use of extra units on the field, or at least the animations where they all charge and whatever, that's a really nice touch, because you play through Fire Emblem and it's like you're commanding an entire army, but there are only like 6 people on the screen at a time. And it's like, okay, we're an army. So anyway, it's just fun to see like how it interacts and how the story actually does take into account that, you're fighting in a war and stuff like that. But yeah, I hope to see more about it. We know very little given the trailer that we got, but at least we got some confirmation that it's still coming.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts on that? Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was just waiting for Skylar to go, but
okay.
I can go. Sorry. I hate the Three Houses name.
Yes, it's bad.
I think it's a bad name. I feel like it's a placeholder name. It's like a code name, Three Houses. Like,
yeah.
and maybe it will grow on me, but it doesn't match the other Fire Emblem titles. I think, but
yeah, I can definitely see that.
We'll see. I think it's maybe too on the nose because there's obviously like these 3 houses or 3 kingdoms or whatever you want to call them. On the map you can see there's just like these 3 crests or main kingdoms, and there's probably more, whatever, but those are the 3 main ones. So they just need to change the name, and then it'll be the greatest game ever. No, I'm just kidding. No, I agree with you somewhat on the polishing, David, because I do think that when you when you're in the battlefield, yeah, it does look kind of last gen graphics wise, and we know the Switch can do better than that. And I think that just polish it to be maybe as good as a Tales game, which aren't the best usually, but hey, it's better than what we have here.
Yeah.
So, but when you have like the Avatar character, who at least we all assume is the Avatar character, running around like the castle or the church, whatever it is, it does look pretty good.
Yeah, I agree.
Looking at it, I didn't think it looked bad, but yeah, going on the battlefield, it wasn't very detailed and didn't look as clear or picture perfect, I guess you could say. But I'm excited at what they're doing with the gameplay. I like the art design. The song was amazing. Oh, I'm so stoked with that music. That sounds great. Mm-hmm. Trying to think what else. I'm gonna do a video on the trailer or whatever. I just have to, but it's looking like it's gonna be pretty good. I don't know if the Avatar is gonna be the main character or not. I think he or she's just gonna be more of a mentor or teacher and gonna be a silent role, more akin to like Avatars before Awakening. So at least that's what I think.
But it is Fire Emblem, and I'm excited to play some Fire Emblem again because Echoes was excellent, and it looks like they took a lot of notes from Echoes, with the voice acting and storytelling. So excited to see that.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
You got any thoughts, Skylar?
I wasn't too impressed with the trailer, honestly. I want more information, but
it is a teaser trailer.
Yeah, teasers.
Yeah.
But I mean, it looked okay. I want to see more of the characters, honestly. We only got a few.
I agree.
And Fire Emblem, the characters are always the biggest part. Mm-hmm. Who not to let die, who to kill. I mean, that kind of thing. But I want more information. Again, I agree with you guys. 3 Houses seems like a silly name. Placeholder name for it. We had 3 houses last time. Next thing we know, we're gonna have dragons again. So, buckle up. I hope it's a little bit more original than the other plots.
I mean, from what I could see, and I feel like there's a little more originality here, but yeah, I guess we'll see.
So the next point that we have to go over is Xenoblade Chronicles 2's expansion is literally an entire prequel game. So much so that you can buy it separately from the actual full game.
Yep.
So yeah, it's called Torna, the Golden Country, and it features a prequel story that takes place 500 years before the events of Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Rex is not present in there, and you get to play as some pretty important characters that are in the backstory of Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and learn about the motivations behind one of the villains and all that fun stuff, and it looks excellent.
Backstory and like front story.
Yeah.
I mean, you're playing as some pretty important characters that weren't necessarily playable before,
right?
They are now. But then there are some kind of lore-ish characters.
Yeah, I mean, it looks excellent. Like the UI is like slightly different, from the main game.
The UI, the gameplay, like they've improved it so much. Like just looking at this, honestly, I'm like, I think this may be the hype talking, but honestly, it looks like an even better game than the main game. We'll see, though.
Which is
We'll
kind of
see.
sad. Maybe they'll push some of those UI updates to the main game too. Just to kind of make sure that people realize, hey, this is a side game to the main game. You should still buy the main game. I don't know. But I'm excited to get back into Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I've taken a break from it for quite a while. Grinding gets kind of tedious, especially when lots of other video games come out and I've already beaten the main story. So, stepping away from it has been kind of nice, but I'm excited to pick it up again because I love the Xenoblade series so much. It's so good. But David, you didn't play Xenoblade Chronicles X. You're not that good. I know. I'm sorry.
Well, not playing a game doesn't mean you're good or not.
I'm not a true fan. I don't love it so much. But whatever. Skylar,
If you would have loved the series, David, you would have played that game.
I know. I'm sorry.
But then you didn't.
Yeah. So, Skylar, is this going to make you start grinding for core crystals again?
I'm so tired of grinding for core crystals. I can't do it anymore. My attention span is gone.
Well, I don't think you'll really have to grind for core crystals in the prequel, though. Doesn't look like it, at least.
You won't have to get Ursula, Skylar, because you still don't have her, right?
Ursula and the XCOM, not the XCOM, the other one, the Xenoblade.
I'm not sure.
Character.
Cosmos.
Yeah, I don't have her either. Those are the two I don't have.
Wow.
Yeah, she eludes me.
And see, I feel terrible for you, Skylar, because you got the seed that doesn't let you have Ursula early, and Ursula requires so many hours to max out her affinity trees, because you have to send her on a gazillion Merc missions over and over and over and over and over again. So I feel bad that you didn't get her, but
you don't have to worry about any of that in the prequel because I don't think you have like all these different blades or whatever. I think you're limited in who's on your party, but I think there's a good number of parties that it feels like a typical JRPG, kind of like how the original Xenoblade was.
yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, I just wish they didn't make it so difficult. I've played this game for so long. Why do you have to make the characters so hard to get?
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, yeah. Xenoblade Chronicles 2, yeah, that's a huge problem with it. But you don't have to worry about it in the prequel.
Like, I'm not doing New Game Plus until I get all these characters.
No, that's a good point. I'm in the same boat.
I'm missing New Game Plus because I have...
I have to get them all.
All I did one weekend is grind cores.
And it didn't
And I
happen.
still didn't get them.
It's a bummer.
What I'm doing right now is getting my luck up to like 900 or whatever, and getting certain core chips to improve the like when legendary core crystals fall, and you have to like grind one of these beasts in Gormont, I believe. Like he's in the village.
Yeah.
Torgoth. So, you probably could find a tutorial on YouTube on how to do it, but you still have to grind to get to that point, in order to get 900. But at least you're not grinding crystals, and it's just disappointment,
It's just sad face after you open 1 million legendary crystals and none of them come out the way you want.
Yeah. But anyway, the DLC looks excellent. I'm really glad that they showed us a trailer for it. I'm excited to play it.
It really does. Like Monolith Soft, I mean, it just further solidified their place in my mind as my favorite development team right now. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
So great.
Doing excellent.
You guys saw the battle mode or whatever too as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With it had like Fiora and Shulk there. Oh my gosh. They look great.
I thought Shulk's hair kind of looked funny, but
It does look kind of funny.
he had this like weird little slash hair thing in the front of his head. That was kind of funny. It's like,
Yeah,
I don't
it's like
think
a little
he had
extra
that.
swoop, and it's like, you didn't need to add that.
I guess it kind of looks like He-Man.
He-Man.
I guess a little bit. Yeah.
Just his naked Shulk outfit, I mean, He-Man. He's not nearly that strong.
Oh, no, not at all. Just the haircut.
Well, we've got a couple of third-party things to talk about. Third-party, I mean like non-Nintendo developers. I wanted to talk about Kingdom Hearts 3. This has been, a game I've been looking forward to since I beat Kingdom Hearts 2 back in whatever year Kingdom Hearts 2 came out. And of course, they had to do 3 different trailers for it to get us all hyped up, even though none of them were at Square's actual conference. But
Well, I mean, they had him in Square's conference. It's just they had already shown the same one over and over again.
Yeah, but it looks awesome. If the story is awful and they don't wrap up everything like I've been hoping that they would, or it's too complicated at this point, I don't think I'm going to really care all that much, because boy, does it look fun to play. Like, the combat just looks excellent. So many different summon characters, like Wreck-It Ralph's in there. You've got Remy from Ratatouille and all this awesome stuff. I'm excited to visit the Tangled world as well as the Frozen world. I'm so excited for Kingdom Hearts 3. And now that I have a PlayStation 4, I can play it day one. So very excited for that.
Yeah, I mean, graphically speaking, it looks fantastic. Like, it's probably one of the best looking games on the market right now.
Yeah.
Or will be. And the gameplay, like, there's a lot of cool things, like with the fighting with the mechs and Toy Story Land or whatever. That is freaking awesome. Having played a bit of the first game, and I haven't played the second game, but just kind of been, I don't know, the gameplay is just hasn't been my favorite, but it does look like they're doing a lot to make it interesting. So
yeah,
we'll see.
The first game's gameplay is really hard to get into. I don't know. I've been playing through that game, and I'll talk about that in a little while. But yeah, the combat does feel a little stale in the first one. It's very hard to pull off, good combos and have things flow really nice. The second game does a way better job at doing that, even though like the story and visiting the worlds kind of suffers for it. But I don't know. I really love the Kingdom Hearts gameplay style. I just always have. And it might just be because I, forced myself through the first game clear back in 2004 or whatever, whenever I played it first. So I don't know. Kingdom Hearts excites me. I'm very, very excited for Kingdom Hearts 3.
Did you see Captain Jack Sparrow, like the Pirates of the Caribbean
Yes.
world? Oh my gosh.
A realistic Jack Sparrow.
Are you telling me we're going to a real world? Sora's a real boy?
This is a little too real for me. I mean, it looks great, but it's just kind of like, whoa.
Yeah. It's just, all right. Here we go. Awesome. No, it'll be good. I'm excited. Skylar, why don't you take the next one?
I was just really excited for the Doom 2 announcement. Doom. So great. Oh man. Love the first game. I can't believe it. I'm glad they made a second one. I like Wolfenstein, but I like Doom a lot more than Wolfenstein, so
That's
nice.
fair.
It's nice to see it. I prefer like the pure combat, always go, always be fast gameplay. It's super hectic. Well, Wolfenstein's a little bit more methodical, planned out, how you take on each approach. But yeah, I love Doom. And then Bethesda announced the Elder Scrolls 6 was confirmed, which is really nice because I love Skyrim. It's a great game. And having Elder Scrolls 6, hopefully it's going to be super updated and all new, like a bunch of new features. And hopefully
finally.
it looks really good. Because hey, it's kind of weird because Skyrim sold over 30 million copies. You'd think that they would have gotten this sooner, but
You would think.
Bethesda does Bethesda, but does Bethesda,
Yeah.
it's like, please Bethesda, I make it good. I really want to play this game. I'm really excited.
I would love for it to be on the Switch. It'd be just so cool to have like a big game like this just come out simultaneously with everything else. But you just know it's gonna be one of those games that is pushing the power on consoles. So
For sure.
my expectations for it being on the Switch is very, very low, but it would be fantastic if they could.
Yeah, I agree.
Definitely.
Actually, so one other game from Bethesda that concept of makes me really excited is Starlink, or was it called Starlink or Starfield? Starfield. The it's supposed to be the Elder Scrolls in space kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But literally all it is just a teaser. And it's kind of like, really? Like, we don't even know, like, we don't even know what the game really is. And you're just going to give a teaser like that?
New
I don't know.
IP, and you don't.
Right. That's not how you reveal a new IP, even if it is rumored or hyped or whatever. Like, a new IP, you need to show something. A game like Elder Scrolls, okay, you can get away with a logo like that because it confirms to us that, yes, you're working on it. But with Starfield, it's kind of like, so you're working on it. So what? What is it?
Yeah, exactly. That would make sense.
But the concept does sound interesting. Having an Bethesda RPG in space, like, yes, like Mass Effect's not coming back
in space.
In space. So that alone is exciting to my mind. I just not happy with the teaser is all.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So so moving on to my point that I want to make is 2 games that I don't want you guys to sleep on that are coming to the Switch. And you've probably seen footage of them. Ninjala from Gung Ho Online Entertainment and Daemon X Machina. Both of these were in the Direct. Obviously, Daemon X Machina had more of a focus, so I'll talk about that in a sec. But Ninjala was kind of just in a reel of titles, and it showed some footage of it, and then it just kind of moved on. Like, didn't even talk about it. But it was playable at E3. So I got to play it, and I really enjoyed it. So it's kind of an ARMS and Splatoon mix, aesthetically speaking. I mean, you could really tell they're trying to like grab the Splatoon fan base here with the kind of feel that they're going on. But instead of shooting things or punching things, you have a sword, and you're constantly blowing a piece of gum, and that gum becomes your sword. And so you have to like manage how big your bubble is to how big your sword is, and you basically battle the other people on the map. But at the same time, you have to keep in mind you have to collect the like lanterns around and also destroy drones, and those add up to your points in the end. So basically, if you just go in and just try to kill anybody, but you don't worry about those other things, you're going to suffer for that at the end, because while you may be in first place at this, when the timer goes off, when the bonus points are given, you'll probably end up in third place because you haven't done anything else. So it's kind of similar in Splatoon that way, because Splatoon, you don't focus on the kills per se. You want to make sure you're spreading your ink. Well, in this case, you want to make sure you're doing more than just fighting. You want to be making sure you at least have one of those bonus points. So it was a lot of fun. Some good stuff. It's definitely it's not complete yet, but keep your eye out on it. It could be a fun party game, and they said there's going to be a story mode to it as well when it releases in 2019. So
okay,
here's hoping. Did you guys have any questions or thoughts about Ninjala?
Not really. I didn't see too much of it.
Same.
I did watch some about Daemon X Machina. It looked like fun. It was a mech game, so I'm intrigued. But at the same time, it just looked like it was kind of like the frame rate was kind of choppy in what I was watching.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
When they had played it, I don't know.
Treehouse.
Yeah, the treehouse thing. I wish these kind of games are really hard to demonstrate. For
That's
people.
True.
And I was watching it, it was like, oh, that looks like a Skell from from Xenoblade Chronicles X, which is really cool because that was the best part about that game. But I really like mechs. I'm interested to see more on it. I don't know if it's exactly, too ready yet. I think they're going to add a lot of more stuff to it.
I don't think it's ready either, but the concept that they have going on here where you go out on missions and you can take the weapons from the enemies, it just feels like a world that is kind of almost a toy box or sandbox kind of a thing. So I really like that. And with mechs, and like you said, it's taking the part of Xenoblade Chronicles X with the Skells and putting it into a kind of an action adventure game. So I thought it was really interesting, and the art style is done by the guy who did Awakening.
Yep.
Or girl, I can't remember if it was a guy or girl, but
The person.
so the person. But I like the kind of art style. It's not just like realistic looking mechs or graphics, kind of a artistic style in the vein of, Breath of the Wild or Skyward Sword, kind of a vibe, and I really like that. So
yeah,
don't sleep on it. Keep an eye on it is basically what I'm saying. You don't have to pre-order it now, but just keep an eye on it.
I'm looking forward to it being a little bit more polished, personally.
Yeah,
but,
I agree.
They look promising. For sure.
Yeah, I wish I could say I played at E3. Kind of would have been a good game to have on the demo floor, even if it wasn't all the way ready. But whatever. Whatever.
Well, cool. Wanted to talk a little bit about some of the disappointments we might have had at E3. My first one comes from, well, I guess the fact that I was in Europe and didn't have a good internet connection, so I didn't get to really watch the whole thing live and kind of had to rely on other people to tell me what was going on and watch videos later. But I really felt kind of disappointed with Nintendo's whole E3 presentation. I mean, just from a standpoint, I only got one of my predictions right, so maybe that had something to do with it. But I don't know. It felt more than anything that we weren't given much of a roadmap of the future for the Switch. When last year we got, a few games that, we were to expect that they were working on. It would have been nice to just, get some sort of confirmation that they were still in development and, perhaps even maybe one cool new announcement like, oh, look, we're making Animal Crossing for Switch, even though it's not going to come out for a year and a half or whatever. It felt like Nintendo just didn't give us much of a roadmap. And I guess that's mostly because they're focusing on games that they're ready to show off and are coming out within the next, 6 months or so. So, I mean, I understand why it's like that. I just feel like, I've always felt that E3 is the time to show off the big guns and, get people excited, even if it does mean that we have to wait a while for the stuff to happen,
Yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead, Skylar. Go ahead.
I think it's interesting that you say they don't exactly have a roadmap, but on my Switch the other day, they did show like all of the games. There were a lot more on there than I thought there would be in the next few months. I'm just not too interested in all of them.
Yeah, same.
There were a few that looked all right. I mean, I'm getting tennis tomorrow, so I mean, it looks like fun. I don't know how much of the new modes I'm going to play of it because I'm a classic, as they say, a purist in the game trailer. The gimmicky stuff is kind of funny. I did play the demo, but I'm not too sold on it. But there are a few games on there, and it's enough to keep me occupied through the next few months. So
it's interesting you mentioned that you think that E3 is meant for big announcements, even if they do come out, take a long time to come out. And I think to a certain extent that's true, but I personally hate it when a game is shown E3 after E3 after E3, or even like one E3 and then doesn't show up for years, for a couple of years. It's like, I hate that because it just takes away the excitement behind the game. And I mean, I guess like when the game comes out, you don't really think about that, but Breath of the Wild was kind of that way, and we had that, and then we had to wait, and there was a time, it was like a year, I think, where we didn't get any information on it. E3 came and nothing. So I don't know if I'm a huge fan of developers announcing their games when they know it has a while to go. Now, Breath of the Wild is a different case because I think they figured it was going to be ready in a year or so, but obviously that wasn't the case. But like with Metroid Prime 4, while it was maybe important to show it last year because they had Samus Returns coming, I don't know. Like, I feel maybe it was a little too early. And it would have been, I think we would have been ridiculously hype if it had shown up this year instead. But I see what you're saying with the roadmap. We don't have a whole lot to look forward to in 2019. I think 2018 is not too bad. I was hoping for more Nintendo games before Pokemon Let's Go.
Yeah.
But there are games that are coming out, especially from Mario Tennis Aces through July and until September. We got a lot of things going on, but they're just not all Nintendo games,
Yeah.
But 2019 is looking kind of bare. Besides Fire Emblem, amazing, and Pokemon in late 2019. So.
Yeah. I think Metroid might make a showing next year, along with Bayonetta 3. So we might be able to see those.
I agree with you on that.
But I mean, yeah, what we have right now, it's slow going, but we are getting Smash at the end of the year too. So.
Yeah,
right,
and that's totally true. I mean, it's just more than anything. Last year, I just remember watching the whole stream, and when Metroid Prime 4 popped up, like I jumped out of my chair and my knees went weak. Like I hadn't felt that way in a long time, and I knew it was going to take a while for the game to come out, but I didn't care because I was just so excited, and nothing did that for me this year. And maybe that's where I'm getting at with this type of stuff. Cause I don't want to see a game at E3 over and over and over again, for like 4 whole years or something. But I do think just like a little something, maybe just one game that, we know that we know that they're working on something that we're all excited for would have just been nice. But oh well, It's okay. I forgive Nintendo. I do. I still love them. So
my game is here with Smash, and I'm surprised. I'm so happy it's coming out in December. So
it's going to be good. I'm excited for it.
Play that game. Imagine having to get all the trophies in the classic mode with all 69 characters. Holy crap! That's going to keep me occupied for a long time. And I 100%ed the Wii U and the 3DS one, so
that you did.
I'm probably going to do it again. So just with every character, it's going to be so much fun. Yeah, I love Smash Bros.
Yeah. Well, cool.
Me too.
Skylar, what was your disappointment this year?
Fallout 76 being online is crap, dude. That sucks.
Are you Jordan? Are you taking Jordan's place here?
Well, I might as well, because I mean, when they took Elder Scrolls Online, come on. I just wanted mainline entry. Hopefully get Fallout 4 pretty soon here. I haven't played it yet. Just through the days of play, I got a good sale on a PS4. So, I hopefully get picking up Fallout 4 and play through that. That one's got some pretty mixed reception on it, though. Some people are angry that they took out the karma system. I'm kind of happy they did. I'm not a big fan of the karma system, but I mean, looking at Fallout 76, which is coming out, don't really have any desire to play this either. I've just never been a big fan of playing these single player experiences online with a bunch of different people. I'm the kind of guy who will play Mario Tennis by himself for several hours and not really want to go online and use the competitive play. If I'm going to play competitively, I like doing it in my own room. Just with other people, especially with tennis. But it is nice that they have the option for online. But I mean, Fallout 76 is the same way. They said you can play it single player, but the fact is you're still online. You're still online, and I don't want to play. I don't want to pay PlayStation Online to.
Yeah, you could play it single player. You just got to avoid everybody.
Yeah,
like someone goes, "Hey, how's it going?" Just like run.
No, stop, please run.
I'm playing it single player. Excuse me.
Excuse me, but
you are breaking my gameplay.
I thought the premise was really cool. Just being
West Virginia.
West Virginia being Vault 76. But the whole gameplay aspect, which is more or less what I care about the most, it's whatever.
Yeah, I want to play Fallout, but Fallout 76 does not interest me either. So
this is not the entry point, I think.
No,
but I'm sure it fits a certain audience, and I think it would be a good game for people who enjoy online. But I think most Fallout fans are gonna really be that much into it. So I guess we'll go ahead and move on to mine, which kind of a funny one, I guess. Nintendo's booth was weak compared to the last few years. you guys remember Breath of the Wild's booth? They kind of like started off like they had people like sitting on benches, and they showed the trailer, and then the doors like opened and you went into the Breath of the Wild. I'm not sure if that's how everybody did it, but I guess some of the people, like, that's how this started. And then you get into the statues of Link and the Guardian and bokoblins and you're kind of like in Hyrule on the Great Plateau, and then with Super Mario Odyssey you were in New Donk City, and that was great. But this time it wasn't as immersive. They had this giant screen that they would play trailers on and sometimes show Smash games that were going on, but other than like they had some of the items, like famous items from the games and platform, like Battlefield platforms, those platforms is where you actually played the game. There wasn't anything else. I think that was a missed opportunity. Granted, that Monado that they had on display was freaking amazing. It was like
it looked really cool, yeah.
Oh my gosh! Like it had a shine to it. It looked like if I grabbed it, like, you know, I have a vision or something. Like that's how amazing it looked.
This is the Monado's power.
Bad. Yeah,
that King Diddy hammer looked great too, though.
Was it King Diddy's hammer? Or was it Kirby's hammer?
It looked like King Diddy's hammer, and then they had the Bayonetta boots, Bayonetta shoes.
Yeah, those were awesome. The hat, Mario's hat. I mean, they had Falchion, like Marth's sword.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool. But you know, the things they had on display, that was cool. But they could have done so much more. Like have like life-size models of some of the famous Smash characters fighting each other, or kind of like have elements of each game kind of combined together. And obviously you have a lot of games represented, so you just choose main ones, but try to put it all together. But this time it felt like we were, I don't know, like at some Nintendo event where summer fun play, and you know, it was just Nintendo Switch themed.
Sounds like the time when they brought the Year of Luigi to Boston, and I was randomly there when I was on my mission. But yeah, it was super funny. We were just there on it was great. It was fun. But it was just a day of play where we walked around and we just watched a lot of people play a lot of different Wii U games.
You're like, I want to.
Yeah. I really wish. I'm just kidding.
Please.
It was really cool. And then we took like a photo in front of some booth they had where we all dressed up with like Mario hat and stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
Which is really cool. It was holding rupees and and things. But yeah, it was really cool. A lot of fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, this... I just disappointed because I liked what they were doing and before, and especially since they didn't really have too much to show besides Pokemon Let's Go and some other games, I guess. I feel like they could have gone a little farther, like with their presentation.
Yeah.
Oh well.
I think I'm skipping out on Let's Go too.
Really?
I'm taking a pass on this Pokemon. I need to take some downtime from the series.
That's fine.
But
Pokemon Go Pokemon Let's Go got me playing Pokemon Go again.
And that's perfectly fine. I'm just not a Pokemon Go fan anymore. I'm done with that, and the integration is well behind it. But I would have enjoyed it.
No, that's totally fair. I totally understand that. I think I'm going to play it and get it. I've been catching a ton of Pokemon. Fortunately, this week in Pokemon Go, it's been like water Pokemon are appearing absolutely everywhere. So I finally have a full set of all of the water starters and all of that stuff, which is great. Yeah, it got me playing Pokemon Go again, and I'm sure some other people did. But anyway, yeah, James,
sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go first.
Go ahead.
I was going to change topics. Go ahead.
Oh, well, I don't know. Like I mean, yeah, it's great that it got you to play Pokemon Go again, but I mean, is that a great point to it? I don't know. Like, it's not a bad thing. Is that a plus? I don't know.
It's a plus for Nintendo.
Is it a Pokeball plus?
Which so I played with at the demo. It's the real deal, guys. No joke. I've actually pre-ordered it because it felt so good.
Look, man, 200 yen in the game gets you a Pokeball. This one is $50. I can't.
Yeah. But that's true. There's probably more technology in the Pokeball. But I kid you not, it feels so amazing and natural. It's the real deal.
That's awesome.
But I can see people not wanting to get it because of the price. It is a steep price, not gonna lie.
But yeah, I mean, if they use that feature for the next mainline entry, I'd probably get it. I mean, that part looks fun. I don't know about this one personally. I'm still really standoffish on it. It was funny too because we were talking about it in the chat, and I think George mentioned he's like can't evolve Eevee, and I was like, that's it. I'm canceling my pre-order. I immediately canceled my pre-order, and I said it in the chat too. I don't think anybody was.
I thought you were joking.
Paying attention. No, I canceled it right then. I was like, what's the point of an Eevee who can't evolve? This is the worst.
Well, they give him a major buff. He comes with him and or Eevee and Pikachu come with double kick in the beginning, I believe.
Okay, well that's all right.
And their stats are like better and everything, which makes me wonder: can you get rid of this, or can you put this into other games in the future? Probably not. You probably can't trade Pokemon. But anyway,
it looks like this game is just heavily drawing from the Pokemon Go system. So like the numbers and everything that are involved between the two. So maybe not. They've done it before with the old Pokemon games coming up to the new ones through the Pokemon.
I guess we'll see.
Transfer system, whatever. So I wouldn't put it past them, and they seem like connectivity between all the games is pretty important to them. So I wouldn't be surprised if they did do it. I need to take a break from the series, and it seems like the right time to do it. And I got a lot of other stuff to play right now.
Yeah, you do.
Anyway.
Yeah, you do. So
that's a fair point.
But and then Smash comes out, and then I mean, I'm gonna be gone for like 3 weeks. Unfortunately, that's during finals week, so like the finals comes up during that time. So why is it Nintendo always do this? Anyway.
Oh well. But so I guess that'll wrap up our E3 discussion. I mean, it was a fun E3 this year, I guess. Sorry, James, that the booth was weak, especially since it's the first year you got to go to E3 and experience it yourself. Seems like a bummer.
The overall experience was great, but I kind of was looking forward to an immersive booth.
Yeah, where was New Donk City when you needed it?
I know, right?
But yeah. So thanks for listening to our E3 discussion. We will talk about Smash Bros. Next week. I know some of you listening are probably itching to hear what we have to say about that, so you're going to have to wait another week. So sorry. Let's move on to what we've been playing this week pretty quick. This episode is starting to run long, but we'll talk about what we've been doing.
It's E3.
It is E3. I know. I'm just kind of, keeping tabs on the time. It's fine. I mean, I'm just saying, it's
3 E's.
But anyway,
E3s.
One game that I noticed in our list here that we've all been playing is the Octo expansion for Splatoon 2, which, they dropped on us literally the day after we got the E3 presentation, and it's excellent. Octo expansion is awesome, and I highly recommend buying this DLC because I think it's one of the best DLC packages I've ever played. Like it expands the game so well. You get a whole new character set, you get more backstory on some of the characters, and the final fight is really fun.
Have you played the real final fight, David?
No, I haven't yet.
It sucks.
I've been busy. It sucks hard or sucks
I was
not
having
fun?
a good time. And then I hit that final fight. I hate this so much. Oh, it's brutal. But yeah, like I was having a really good time. The not real final boss, but the final boss of the main story or the expansion story was pretty great. I liked it a lot. But the real final boss, oh my gosh. it's way too brutal.
Yeah, I'll get there
no.
eventually.
Incredibly punishing.
Dang it. I mean, I honestly, I kind of thought the Octo expansion was definitely a step up in difficulty to begin with, but man, live, like.
Yeah, I got through all the stages just fine. This is, I spent 3.5 hours on this boss and I still haven't finished it.
Dang.
This means I'm never going to finish it.
I was like, I might just have to give up on this one, but
No.
it's brutal.
Crap. Well, then I'm never going to get to the regular boss.
But yeah, the final boss is probably a little bit too hard, just in my opinion.
Okay. I still have to get there. I eventually will. Yeah, I kind of put Octo Expansion on the back burner a little bit when I got back from my trip. Because I blew through the whole like main thing of collecting the 4 things and then getting to the final fight. Which the build up to the final fight is all, well, not the final fight, but you know, like the one that you expect to be the final one. Like the build up to it was excellent. Oh, those missions were so fun.
They were a lot of fun.
I really, really loved it. But once I got there and I, you know, the Octoling got to the surface, I kind of set it aside because I'd gotten back and whatnots. But yeah, I highly recommend Octo Expansion. If you have Splatoon 2, you should grab it. It's worth it. Like, it is so fun. So good.
Yeah, definitely worth it for sure. If you're in for the long haul, though, pre-prepared.
Yeah. But I highly recommend going through the main story first because you need to learn how these weapons work and how to aim and all that stuff before you take on Octo Expansion, because Octo Expansion really like cranks up the difficulty on quite a few levels, and it's like I didn't know my weapon was capable of that, you know. Sometimes like okay. So lots of fun. Highly recommend it.
I love the are we all talking about it right now?
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
I really love these mini challenges. I think this works a lot better than the regular campaign. Even like, you know how much I want like a story mode kind of a thing, but I feel like this is a step in the right direction because there's very much a vibe here instead of just a hodgepodge of random levels. I mean, mind you, they are all rather random, but the being in the subway and the kind of like the ambiance that you have going on there, I don't know, it feels very engrossing and immersive, and I like that.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the problems people have with the main story for Splatoon 2 is how long the levels are. And they increased the length of the levels compared to Splatoon 1. And I think that a lot of Splatoon 1's levels are, you know, just the right length for what it was trying to do. And a lot of the levels in Splatoon 2 in the main campaign are just, they're so long sometimes. And it was a pain clearing every single one of them with every single weapon because they were just so long, you know. But the Octo Expansion, like the way that you get to use these different weapons, like you can use the Splattershot Pro in some of them, you can use the Gluga Dualies and all of these other different types of weapons that you don't get to do in the main campaign, and not having to use every single one of them to clear the game, it just feels refreshing and like, okay, these are missions that they crafted specifically for the weapons that they let you choose, you know, and it's great. I love it.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I guess since I didn't go through each level with all the weapons, how long the levels wasn't that big of a issue for me. Because I do think they're better. The levels are better than the first game.
Yeah, they are better. Yes, they're just a lot longer.
Yeah, but it just wasn't a huge change, and again I was hoping for more of a story mode, and this does kind of scratch that itch for me, and so I really appreciate that. But again, the level design in Octo Expansion is just phenomenal. I love the billiard ball ones, the 8-ball ones. Yes. Those are my favorites. Because sometimes there was one that I did was timed, but there's others where you have to like be careful as you go about, and I don't know. I'm glad I'm just not always at the end of my rope, kind of a feel, and I'm sure they'll get tougher. And there are tough levels. Don't get me wrong. I've had to restart a couple times, but it is a lot of fun, and well thought out.
Man, some of the ones where you have to defend a point from a bunch of octolings are crazy hard. Like, I'm sitting here like, okay, all right, yeah, you killed me again. Darn it. But yeah.
I think there was like one that really gave me trouble was a sniping one where you have to ride the rail and you have to shoot all the boxes.
That one.
The
I
boxes
gave
or
up.
balloons?
That one was rough. I finished it after like 10 tries, but it was like
Was it
freaking brutal.
did you have to shoot balloons or boxes?
Boxes.
Oh, so it's a different one than I'm
The
thinking
balloon
of.
one wasn't so bad. The boxes
What
was
are you talking
horrible.
about? I can't even get past the balloon one.
Oh my gosh.
The box one would be harder because the boxes, you have to shoot them with the full charge.
They're smaller too.
Oh, they're small.
But-
okay.
yeah, there's small
That
boxes.
does sound harder.
But oh my gosh, it took forever for me to finish that one. And you miss one,
Dang it.
you die. That's basically,
yeah.
and there's 39 of them or 40 of them or something.
Dang.
And I was like, holy crap, game, what is wrong with you? But when they showed it off at E3, it was so funny because the guy who was playing it, I can't remember his name. He like failed this mission a bunch of times, and it wasn't even like one of the hard missions either. I was like, I was just watching this guy play it, like, dude, this is your game. You can't be doing this. But and then they played the new bread boss.
That was so fun.
Which was he was fun. He wasn't too bad. But I mean he's hard for sure.
Yeah.
But,
He is. Yeah.
but it was fun. I liked having the remixed bosses in this mode.
Yeah. I agree.
I would have preferred probably a couple new ones, but the remixed bosses are pretty fun.
The shower one can go die for all I care. I hate
Really?
that boss.
I thought
Like-
the new shower boss was so easy.
I haven't fought that one yet, but the old one, he can go die in a hole. I hated him.
They made it
Like-
easier this time, I think.
What? Because you know how hard it is
I
to
don't-
use the
I don't have
freaking
a complaint.
octobrush? You know how hard it is to use the octobrush to kill that guy?
I
Like-
did it.
I did it too, but it was... I'm like, all right. Anyway,
No, I think it's easier this time though.
cool.
But
No,
yeah.
I'm excited to keep going. I really am. It's
Yeah,
excellent.
a
It's
few of
awesome
the-
to have an octoling in battles too, because the octolings are cool.
Yeah, I wish they had more hairstyles,
Same.
but
Man.
you know, whatever. I was about to say the few of the challenges they're the Space Invader one. I loved that one. I don't know if
played
you've
that
got
one yet.
Oh my
Yeah, I don't
gosh,
think I've
it's a
had it, yeah.
treat. That one was a lot of fun. I was like, this is Space Invaders. This is great. But but yeah, they had some really good ideas in this expansion. Definitely worth the $20. They put a lot of hard work into it. You can tell for sure. Just that final mission, I might have to give up.
Gosh, I might have to give up before I get to the first boss.
It's-
Or not the first boss, the main boss or whatever.
It's brutal. I was having such a rage fest with it. I had to like put the game down
Yeah.
for a while.
Well, anyway, Octo Expansion's great. You should get it. So, the other game I've really been playing this week is Kingdom Hearts 1. I mentioned it briefly last time we played. I got a PlayStation 4 as a graduation gift to myself because I wanted to treat myself, and I really want to play Kingdom Hearts 3 eventually, so I needed a PlayStation to do that. And I did not want an Xbox. It doesn't entice me as much as the PlayStation 4 does. But anyway, the Kingdom Hearts 1.5 Final Mix, which is the Kingdom Hearts first game, but with all of the new additions and, you know, a lot of fixes to the combat. It's a lot of fun. I really like the story the best in this one because it's before it gets all crazy convoluted. Even though it's still pretty, like...
I mean, it's a little confusing, but
yeah.
I was able to still follow it for the most part.
Yeah, you don't need to play 3 games in order to understand Kingdom Hearts 2. So Kingdom Hearts 1, you know, it was before he had really planned everything out, the director, I mean, and had figured out how the story was going to go, etc. And yeah, it's really fun. I love having the final mix. I've always loved Kingdom Hearts, and it's great to have an HD version of it. Lots of fun. Excited for Kingdom Hearts 3, for sure. So that's what I've been up to this week. James, what have you been up to?
So at E3, I basically played through Sushi Striker in the line.
Did you play through the whole thing?
Yeah, I did.
Holy cow! Is it long?
Yeah. Whole thing to call, like, I beat the main campaign. Like, there's still like stuff after it. Like, there's still an island and everything. but I got to the credits. So
Okay, all right.
yeah. I'm not exactly sure how many hours I put into it, but it's quite a bit, like probably 20 hours or so.
Dang.
Yeah, there's a lot of content there, and I went back to get better ranks, to get stars and everything. So you know, I feel like it's a pretty meaty game. Granted, I mean the levels are well, even then, like the levels aren't always the same either. Like there's still changes in most of the levels. So yeah, you have to be thinking like, okay, I need to prioritize this in my sushi stacking, or I need to make sure I don't get too crazy with my sushi stacking, or you know, like there.
Yeah.
You have to be thinking a little bit before you go into it. But yeah. So I like it. Oh, go ahead.
How did you primarily play the game? Because when I tried to play it using the controller, I was having a really hard time selecting the plate I wanted and moving it.
Yeah, so that is an issue with controls, I think, but it's easily avoided. Like it's not that big of a deal. It's just sometimes you'll be like trying to go after a plate and you're like, oh, crap, no, okay. I don't know if it's the controller is too sensitive or it just over jumps something. I'm not entirely sure, but that doesn't happen as often as you may think. And sometimes you just kind of go with the flow. You just kind of like grab something and go.
Yeah.
Kind of a thing. Perhaps those who do it on touchscreen, you have more say on what you pick, but sometimes your conveyor belts just go so blistering fast that if you yourself try to pick something, you're just going to miss out. So you might as well just try to pick something as quick as you can and go from there.
Interesting. I would have thought this game maybe on 3DS might have been more suitable since you have a stylus to help you, kind of guide your hand a little bit better. But I wouldn't know that considering I haven't played it on the 3DS and I only played the demo on the Switch. So I don't know.
I honestly think it works well on the Switch. I really do. Maybe it would work better on the 3DS, but I'm like you. I haven't played it, so I can't say for sure. All I know is that the touchscreen controls do work, but I just prefer playing it with control stick.
Yeah.
There is a mini game, however, where it is practically impossible with just a regular joystick. Like you have to use the touchscreen in order to do it.
Oh.
Yeah, but it is a mini game, so it's not the main game, so it doesn't matter. But it requires you to you have to line up the plates in like 10 seconds, and if you mess up once, you die.
Jeez.
Yeah, it is very brutal, very quick, and so that's why you need the precision with the touching. But that precision per se isn't as important in the main game because you have basically multiple chances to connect to get like big connects. So yeah, that's that.
Do you think it's worth the price point?
So
the $50 price point?
Yeah. Here's my thing. So I feel like people. Okay. Yes, I think it's worth the price point. I can't speak for everybody, but I do think that people maybe are a little too high standards when it comes to games that aren't mobile games. Like,
yeah,
I've heard people say that, oh, this should be a mobile game. Like, it should be like $2 on Apple stores. There's so much content here, and it's runs very well that I honestly think it deserves a $50 price point. Yeah, but that's me, and I understand if people are a little apprehensive. I guess I don't know what people are looking for in a $50 experience, because everyone's so different. Like,
well, it's just interesting to me because that $50 price tag is like putting it almost on the same level as something like Zelda or Mario, which is kind of crazy to me. And with the sale this past week, it's a little bit more expensive than those. And it's just when I pay $60 for a game, I kind of, that's what I'm kind of looking for, is like this amazing, new experience almost. It's interesting to me.
It is a new experience, and maybe, I don't know, maybe amazing is not the correct word, but it's a fun new experience.
Yeah.
I think for me, I like to equate it to how I'm enjoying it, and that usually means I put a lot of time into it. 20 hours into a game for $50, that's pretty good. I think that's how it should be, for the most part.
Maybe it's just a lot of these other people don't, they just don't view it as a time sink, as much of a time sink, It's something it probably seems like something they play for a couple minutes at a time on like a, Bejeweled or something, or Candy Crush.
Yeah.
But
I could see that.
But at the same time, it looks unique. I probably wouldn't get that much enjoyment out of it. Not a $50 price tag enjoyment out of it. So
that's fair.
That's mainly what made me pass on it.
Yeah, I feel bad because I feel like it's such a good game, and yet people are passing on it because they feel like $50 is too much.
Yeah.
Now I'm not going to advocate for $10 more on it at all, but I still think $50 is fair.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I don't understand pricing, because Capcom is pricing Mega Man 11 at like what, $30?
Yeah.
But why? I feel like it's a fully built game. I honestly like why isn't this like $50 or $60? Like I maybe I just don't understand what constitutes a certain price, because I've seen games that are not as good looking as Mega Man 11 that are $60, but people don't complain. I don't know. I don't know.
Do you have like a game in mind?
It's a good question. I don't have it on the top of my head, but I know there are examples.
Oh, there are plenty of games I think are way overpriced that look like crap though. Like it was Unboxed came out at like $30-$40. I was like, no, I'm not doing this. Even Minecraft is being sold for $30-$20 still, but I mean, it is an old game though. But
really, I don't understand pricing for the most part. I'm very much pleased with the price the developers say, unless it's like two stick figures fighting and then they say it's $60. Like I can say the discrepancy behind that is ridiculous. Like that's okay. Obviously, there's something wrong here.
Yeah.
But I don't know, a new fun experience like Sushi Striker that has these cute cutscenes in it that feel like a Saturday morning cartoon.
Yeah. And
then you have gameplay that is fun enough that it wants me to keep going. I feel like that's a winner right there.
It's funny. My brother Mason, when he looked at this game, he's like, you know what? $50 for this fake game of sushi, or I could pay for 2 rounds of real sushi. He's like, I just want real sushi. Sushi is life, man. Sushi will never betray you, right, James?
It's true. Sushi will never. Lovers may betray you, leave you, but sushi will never do that. The corniness of this game is just, oh my gosh.
I mean, that might be
right now. You don't play this game for the plot. You play it for how corny and ridiculous it is at times. Like it really does kind of remind me of Elite Beat Agents or Rhythm Heaven in how ridiculous some of the scenarios and characters and dialogue are.
EBA.
Yeah. So anyway, I personally think if you are, not necessarily you, Skylar, but if you are on the fence on this, I say please get it. I don't think you'll regret it. But if you think that you wouldn't want to play it anymore, like if you play the gameplay and you feel like it's not that fun, fine, don't get it. It's not like this is the next big thing kind of a game. But I do find it very enjoyable. So then I played the Octopath demo. I won't talk too much about this because it's just a demo, but it feels even better than the original demo. The music is just gorgeous, like beautiful. Like, holy cow, this is amazing. And I feel like the improvements to the gameplay are great. I just want this game to come out already.
Well, you don't have to wait too much longer.
A month.
Yeah.
So
It's pretty close.
it
I
is
need to
close.
get the demo. I haven't played it yet.
I'm
I'm so
amazing.
behind.
Got some cool characters.
Love
Yeah.
it.
And it's kind of nice that it, at least so far, it's not like, oh, you're a hero and you have to go save the world. Like, these characters have like actual life goals and stuff, It's kind of cool.
It is cool. I'm excited. I'm really excited to see how it all comes together. Kind of a thing,
Yeah.
It's great.
Well, cool. Skylar, how about you?
I got the Hollow Knight.
Wow.
About
like,
time it came out on Switch, right?
It's like
You
it's like,
are Jordan this week.
It's like, well, it was like when I was playing, it's like I could totally see why George liked this game. Bugs everywhere, super hard, death bosses are crazy, 2D Dark Souls, whatever. But I mean, it's brutal. Like, it gets super hard. But some of the basic enemies I've been fighting have just been like crazy, which is kind of funny. The first huge basic enemy I found just slaughtered me. But then, like, when I fought the first boss, I took it out pretty quick. It's like I was like, what the heck? The basic enemies in this game just destroyed me. But it was the first boss, though, mind you. So maybe it gets good. It's gonna get a lot harder. Then I picked up a PS4 during Days of Play as well, and I got Ratchet and Clank for PS4, which is it's like a reboot of the original series. It's a lot of fun. All the different weapons are great. I kind of wish the game was a little bit longer, which was weird to say. They do have like a bonus content mode, which was kind of fun, where you get to upgrade your weapons even more and go through the story again. It's like New Game Plus, basically, which it's a lot of fun. If you haven't played the Ratchet, it's like $20 on PS4. If you like platformers, if you like that kind of, it's great. See, I've been playing a whole lot of other stuff though, but we'll just end with that.
I know you've been playing a lot.
Yeah, because like I said, I just played through Fallout 3 this past week too, and holy crap. But yeah, a lot of good stuff.
Very cool. Well, I guess that'll do it for us, folks, this week. Before we end the episode, again, as always, thank you for joining us and, listening and, being a part of us. We appreciate that. It means a ton.
Yeah, I'd like to give a shout out to Skylar, our co-host, for composing our intro music and outro music. He's a talented dude. You can check out his SoundCloud at soundcloud.com/Skytar with a 5.
I'd also like to shout out to our patrons, Chris, Chase, Ratmvp, and My Echo, for your support. If you want to help support the show, head to patreon.com/Nintensity. Check out the rewards and other stuff that's coming. If you want to get access to all of that, again, check out patreon.com/Nintensity now.
My Echo is a new patron, so thank you so much for your donation, I guess you say.
Pledge. Yeah.
Pledge. That's the word.
I'd like you to also like to. I'd also like to invite you to our Discord community. Tech 2. We're trying to set up a fun place for the people to visit and hang out. Head to nintendo.city/Discord to join us today. If you support us on Patreon, you'll also get access to some special chats on our Discord as well. We've just been talking a lot about different Hollow Knight and stat boosting and best stats and the Fallout games. Most recently, a lot of Smash news. Sad about Waluigi, but one day.
One day.
We shall see.
One day more.
One day more. Don't forget to check out our YouTube page. We actually have a Daisy versus Waluigi video on there. This was made before E3, so don't be too mean to me, please.
Either way, James, brace yourself, man.
James
has been getting it like all week.
I've been getting it all week. It's no joke. I'll be honest. Some people are like, great video, but F you or whatever. Like,
great video, but screw you.
Yeah. Excuse my language, but it it's funny. Like there are very passionate fans on both sides, but right now you can definitely see the Waluigi salt and it's
yes.
And the Daisy's pride. Oh gosh. Both sides are very, very loud right now. I love you all. Thanks for watching my video.
Yes, thank you. And thanks for listening to the podcast episode and tuning in this week. Don't forget to subscribe and rate the show on iTunes, share the show with your friends and family, to help spread the show around. This is how we get into the ears of other listeners. We'd also like to remind you to check out our website at nintendcity.com, where you can find news, show notes, and more. And this week's show notes will be available at nintend.city/EP102. Thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye.
Goodbye, you good people. Wait.